into him. As long as that hook lands, that's probably a kill, or at least a summoner force in the bot side.
Well, of course, you don't want to have that happen, so we'll go ahead and see the split in the early game, because as soon as there is a Blitzkink, a Thresh, a Nautilus, or anything of the sort, you do not want to be anywhere close. The immediate walk away by Fisher straight towards that top side, maybe trying to bait for Ricky LaFleur. Unfortunately, Ricky LaFleur is down on this bot side, so both teams on completely opposite sides, just getting vision for each other.
I like the aggressive answer, though, that's coming through from the side of Fisher, because if you see a Blitzcrank on this side, you 5-stack, and you might as well start aggressively invading. You might not necessarily lose that level 1, and the fact they went top as well is, as you mentioned, if they can catch Ricky LaFleur, if you can set that Olaf behind, that's great. You can see that both Ricky LaFleur and Topo, in a way, kind of picked for lane. Neither of them are running teleport. You've got an Ignite on Topo's side, so he wants to win the lane, and he wants to win it early to make sure the Olaf stat stick doesn't start to overwhelm him.
I would just like to point out a fun fact that not many people know, but anyone that plays Sejuani or Olaf or even Rammus, I think, know, is the fact that if you do grab someone with that subjugate or subjugate there with the Trundle, you'll actually put them into negative armor and magic resist, I'm pretty sure. That is something that will happen, especially with Sejuani's passive. So I think that happens with Public Enemy, with Ricky LaFleur, if they ult, right? So that is, I'm very excited to see if that actually happens.
Yeah, and we might have to wait a while, because they just froze up for a second there. You jinxed it by talking about Sejuani.
I did. I was like, man, oh.
And we just got hit by a Sejuani out there. There we go. CC's over. Important to note, Sword Blue didn't catch the ward. So Boschetti sees all of this. You can delay it. There's the pull.
And not just that, you pull it at about 1,000, so there's not even a chance for Devil to Grey to find it. And because of that, you get invade powers on the other side. This is such a power play. And I think anyone that's played against Blitzcrank knows that this is happening, if you understand. But again, just a little bit of a short fall by Fisher means that tempo advantage, and I know people get tired of hearing it, but tempo advantage goes the way of SCC.
I wouldn't even call it little. That's massive, because Swordblue and Rowlet were a little bit late to lane as well, trying to hold that leash. I believe Red had a full reset. So Devil Grey is significantly further behind. Even if you want to counter invade, there's a pretty good chance that Maddie will be covering his bot side just as fast, not to mention you don't have prio in either lane.
Oh, not just that. This is pretty much a kill as Swordblue flashed in place. Oh, that hurts to watch as a first blood.
To be fair, Swordblue, you're stuck in that minion wave. It's actually really hard to get proper distance. The flash is going to kind of push you. Ricky LaFleur taking a beating. Ignite has not been used by Topo.
Oh, and that's a good burn. Again, wins on either side of the map, but a bigger one down there for the bot side, and things are panning out like we thought. Maddie, though, as you said, watching that flash go down on the top side, sees something happening, but Devil to Grey about to answer, so this could be messy. Topo takes an axe to the back of the head, level 3 against level 2 and level 3, and that's gonna be a jump in. One more that can take a good stun, but that will be Ricky LaFleur to go down, and now a blocking as well. Maddie needs to get over the wall. Yes, you are full health, but you cannot fight 2v1. Well fought by Topo and Devil to Grey. You stood too close. Topo, no! I was unsure why you walked that way. I was given the benefit of the doubt, but it is not going to work now. Bakery Boy as well as Radar in the mid lane, trading HP bars, but still, SCC getting a very nice consolation prize. Sword Blue, I don't think that's going to happen.
Get spotted on the ward just in the entrance to the jungle there. Well, I was going to make a comment about immovable object, unstoppable force, and all that in the top lane, but turns out Maddie is the unstoppable force. Bakery Boy getting collapsed on multiple directions right now.
And I like this early aggression over and over again from all the lanes pretty much. Sword Blue even getting a tether underneath, and with no ults, it's not really going to matter, but everywhere trying to gain an advantage for either team. Both Fisher and Slink Clair realize this early game is vital to their success.
And let's talk about the response from Fisher a little bit as well, because it's not just the kill that happened in that top lane. It's not just first blood for Topo. It bought Devil to Grey space and time to get back into the game. Because Maddie got pushed back, Devil to Grey got to kind of clear that top side away from Maddie a little bit. So helps a lot. Devil to Grey back for the regank. Ricky has no sums.
And this is how you do it, right? We always talk about how do you deal with some of these lane matchups? How do you make it work? However, Topo, thankfully, the knockup comes through. That extra auto attack would have taken it. Topo receiving a second kill, and not just that, wave state. Look at that, a freeze under the tower.
Not even close. I mean, Topo had changed. Topo knew exactly what he was able to do. And Maddie trying to answer into the bot lane. Watch that hook a little bit here.
Doesn't even need it. This is standard, but a good flash away. Relic able to delay for just a time. However, that sustain will only last for just a bit longer. Under the tower, though, a little bit of a jump in from Baker Boy just for a bit of moral support. Singular kill from the tower dive.
And it might not be over. Sword Blue, again, watch that hook. That hook lands outside turret range. Sword Blue could get burst down as well. And playing with fire and a massive minion wave stacked up. Safe.
This is we're very quickly watching both teams identify which lanes they want to focus on and which lanes are gonna have like a 2 to 3k lead by the end of this early game, right? Like top side Topo, he's gaining some advantage. I mean, Double the Gray's even getting it on it, right? Welcome to the camp zone. You better be ready to pitch a tent bot side as well. That is going to be Boschetti grabbing a kill for themselves.
Well, you weren't kidding when you said both teams identified which lanes they wanted to play to. The difference, although, is bot side is doing this unassisted. Rockboom and Boschetti are dominating the 2v2 right now. They don't need Maddie there. The dive from Maddie was great, but that's just one gank. Whereas in this top side, every time Ricky LaFleur has died, pretty much, it's been with the assistance of Devil de Grey. So Maddie getting a bit of a lead, should hit that level 6, whereas has about a level, maybe a level and a bit advantage over Devil de Grey, and I want to see what Maddie can do with the jungle lead.
Right now, it's trying to focus around this dragon, right? This dragon is quite important, I think, for both sides, getting that first little jump, but the information and power rests on the side of SCC. Because of that, you now get to pull off a gank like this. Radar literally saw Maddie on a ward, but because you're already engaged, there is no chance. Bakery Boy gets there first as well. Now, it is Boschetti to say, I want a chance, but you walked up just a bit too far. Hook lands onto the Ash, but Ralik says, I got my team with me. Just a couple auto attacks and the flurry of arrows. All of a sudden, Bakery Boy in a bad spot, no mana to help, but in comes Rockboom. They baited, they waited, and now they take it. One more auto attack should do it. A spear in the back, and then a QE. The Ren works. In comes the Olaf, getting some revenge on the back end, and look at that. It is a wipe from the Orianna to the J4. 4 dead overall.
Fisher had the right idea of collapsing. It was just a little bit too late, and they were not tracking Rockboom. Rockboom, the one who's fed. Rockboom, who was 3-0-1 coming into that fight. Unfortunately for Ricky, Ricky doesn't get a kill, does lose a bit of minions, but hey, he's still coming back into it. And now that they've secured a significant lead bot, now they've got a bit of an edge in the mid lane and in the jungle. I'm expecting to see some resources sent up to Ricky here, because Ricky, he's not on a tank. He'd love to be able to get some gold, some damage into his build.
If they do, that's going to be so scary, because remember, that would also offset all the pressure that Fisher put up topside as well. So it's just, there's so much to think about as Rollick is about to eat a very dangerous spot. Yes, only level 4, good knock up there, no hook to follow through, but Rollick, you can't hold here. And keep in mind, Sword Blue has roam for a good chunk of the time. You can see in the discrepancy in the CS, Sword Blue has kind of given up on that bot side.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, Rollick's given up on the bot side. Rollick just popped right into the mid lane, and I don't blame him. That's actually the right call, especially when you're playing up against a Blitzcrank. That narrow corridor in the bot lane, if you try and walk straight back into lane, you've got to play dodgeball the entire way. But the pathing Rollick took just took him out the danger zone right away. The moment the volley came down as well, if Boschetti doesn't flash, he doesn't get in range for the hook. Now, the cost is minions. A couple of minions, but it does add up. And even worse, if another wave stacks, well, we've seen Boschetti go for these hooks and land these hooks right outside turret range before.
And it leans directly into what we said, right? Rockboom and Boschetti are going to be the mainstay players, and as long as they're coordinated in the spot side, they can't really do damage to the rest of the lanes. However, already 3 plates taken without Herald, by the way, without Herald power, and with these hooks is so dangerous. Another setup of the spears, great damage onto Sword Blue. And look at that Ren, Sword Blue taken so low. This is the power of this Kalista that was picked up and almost uncontested, if you will, just in time for Maddie to start looking bot side as well. Hook is up, wave is prepped, and no TP to say, oh, Maddie! Face plants, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Boschetti says, I don't care, I'll sacrifice my life. Gets 1, flashing out, and a little bit of a draw with the Magnet Storm means 2 for 1 for the side of St. Clair Saints.
I feel like the name like path bot or lose, but Sketty was just like, okay, you path bot, no matter what, we get the kill. Even if we die, it's okay. It's fine. Raleigh picks up the kill. We don't care because our Kalista testing is so incredibly far ahead. And once you get that, you can fall back onto Dragon. Orbital, we've hardly talked about objectives. The Dragon's been up for almost 5 minutes now, but it hasn't mattered. It's been all about the kills. And for Fisher, it still is all about the kills in this top side.
Oh my gosh, I mean, you can see the gold. They don't even care. They're just like, listen, bigger gold means better. But right now, that doesn't always stand true, as that's a 1-for-1 with that grass. That will be the Cataclysm to ensure a 1-for-1 trade between top and jungle. And Dragon going the way of St. Clair Saints. So for all the pressure that is still going in the top side, I think that's a dub for St. Clair.
Yeah, St. Clair will be happy with that. The fact that Ricky was able to trade back the 1-for-1 is massive. Now, I don't actually know if that was the optimal play, because Ricky was starting to go down so much gold. I think his death was worth less gold. Now it's been reset. But at least for Ricky, it'll be nice for him to actually get some gold under his belt, even if the laning isn't great for him, even if Topo gets another kill and is even further ahead. We've seen Ricky already gank mid once. This Olaf will still have a lot of impact in these team fights. And for Devil de Grey, with this Cataclysm, it actually gets really tough for him, because he's got to make a choice. Do I go for the super fed AD carry who's ripping my team apart and let the Olaf destroy my backline? Or do I lock down Ricky Lafleur and watch as Rockboon just hops around everywhere, uncontested, killing everyone?
Little technical question. Does the Cataclysm actually stop Kalista's hopping? Can Kalista actually hop out of the Cataclysm?
Yes, she can. But
so it may not even be worth. Like, you will hold the Kalista and you're like, I stopped you. No, you didn't. You also can't stop him in a 2v2. Hostile takeover does minimally anything, as that will only delay the inevitable. Sorble can't stay here anymore. Oh no.
Yeah, that ball lane's up. On the bright side, it's about to fall, but Maddie might get a kill first. Can they stop it?
Oh. And welcome back, everyone, as we do try and get things underway. We appreciate your patience because, of course, we love trying to spectate some of these games. It can get a little finicky, but as you can see, the time jump has jumped forward, and there has been a mess. So let's try and calculate how it went down. Top side has gotten out of control with Topo 6-3-0. In the mid lane, we're seeing a 2-0-4 for Bakery Boy. Jungle, Maddie has taken control in 3-0-7, and then bot side, of course, that is Rockboom at 5-1-3. Towers now falling left, right, and center. 3, though, were taken by Fisher's side, so at least they got that in mind. That was the top side that lost 2. So everything kind of evening out, as gold is pretty much the same.
Yeah, and that's a huge bounce back from Fisher, because last we were looking, SEC was starting to pull away from it, and I'm looking at some kills onto Rollick as well. So it looks like Fisher managed to get a skirmish, is getting Rollick a little back into it. Now, Dragon's coming up in about 2 minutes. Baron, about 2 as well. So for both these teams, the laning phase should be coming to an end. I just realized top lane inner went down Orbital, so Topo got a massive push. This reframes things quite a lot, because now Fisher's on the front foot. They have more map pressure, especially on these side lanes.
And it looks like the Herald was actually dropped up there, because if you take a look at the mini-map, you actually see the topside tower, you can see there, actually took a decent chunk. So the fact that they invested so much there, as you said, gives a little bit of validity, because that has to draw 2 people. We see Fisher on the bot side getting more as well. Now on the top side, we see this fight here, but it's top versus support. I'm not liking this. Even Maddie's trying to get on the action, but they need their true damage. In comes Rockboom, and finally they get a bit more help. That will be the shred, but they lose a tower in the bot lane, and now a fight from Fisher to take this bot lane inhibitor tower as well.
And look at the resources committed. St. Clair have to send almost everybody up into that top lane, so Fisher is getting a free push down here. Bakery is trying to wave clear best he can. Arrow came out to try and stop them rotating, didn't land. Devil de Grey gets hooked.
And that's just death. That is all it is. Radar next on the chopping block. Hostile takeover. Might be able to draw, and they do. A nice little save there. Radar trying to run away. I don't think there are any flashes. Scatter the Weak doesn't land. They're still chasing. Oh my lord. And it's because Dragon is up in 45. They feel like they can keep chasing. That should be the end of it. Well fought, though, from Fisher. You may have lost one on the top side, but you're still getting pressure everywhere else.
A lot of chip damage into that mid outer turret. A lot of chip damage into that bot side as well. But importantly, Orbital, it doesn't fall. So no gold from those turrets went over the way of Fisher. And while that was happening as well, Rockboom didn't rotate to the bot lane, was pushing into the mid lane as well. As you mentioned, Dragon coming up, Baron coming up as well right now in St. Clair. They're getting the vision down. It looks like they want to focus that Dragon first.
What's not so well is this hook. It is going to land Rallic, who has been pinched the entire time by specifically Boschetti, is going to fall once again. Bakery Boy over the wall gets a nice little slow on Sword Blue, contesting this Drake. And keep in mind, St. Clair have had priority on this Dragon the entire time. 2 so far stacked, going for this Ocean Soul, which, if it is grabbed, is such a nice grab of a soul.
Look up top, Orbital. While all this is happening, Topo is still living up to his name. He's in that top lane, and look at him go. Bakery Boy can't hold this Trundle. Blitzcrank up as well. Does this 2v1 work?
I didn't even notice that Topo just snuck their way in, dodges out on the hook. Oh my gosh, I need to check my eyes because Topo juking left, right, and center. Now Devil Gray and the rest of the team getting set up for this Baron because look, Topo's still drawing aggro. Ricky LaFleur's even up here. Oh no, it's gonna start. I was wondering if they were gonna fight. Topo said, hey, rest of the team, come join me. I am strong. Arrow from downtown, able to slow him up because that's the knockup. Delta Gray grabbing 3 inside the Cataclysm, but not much damage behind. In goes the Magnus Sword. Topo trying to get some damage. It does! Resets HP! This Trundle cannot be stopped. We questioned it, RMC, but Fisher said, don't question us, just believe.
Down to the wire right there. Devil Grey just diving in, trying to get the kills, getting the resets. And St. Clair, they opted for that fight. They thought they had the numbers advantage, and they did initially. But as the fight ballooned, the absence of Rock Boom, their most fed member, came back to bite them. Topo really low on health, trying to do this Baron. I don't think Boschetti can stop it, but maybe Boschetti can try and find a kill. Rock Boom's coming up as fast as he can.
I think it's just a little bit of a bait. I don't think they'll get anything because this Baron is already gone. I mean, they're going to try. I'm kind of surprised this factor. They invest a lot. TP as well as that call from Rock Boom. And they're going to look for a simple one. However, everyone on Fisher scattered to the winds. You draw a TP, you get the Baron, you get 3 kills. That's just about everything. You didn't even lose bot tower.
Watching this game right now, Orbital, reminds me of watching Italian football. One of the Italian football clubs. Fisher is just playing defense, and then the moment St. Clair make any sort of mistake, Topo's up there counter-punching. Easy cleanse, you're out, you're safe, but Boschetti...
Yeah, that's going to be a pain. Out goes Rock Boom, though, exactly like we said, and all of a sudden Fisher in a dangerous spot themselves, and Radar gets sniped. Magnus Storm to draw in Sword Blue, and I don't think he got any way out. The chase is on as Rock Boom says, I want more. You don't have cleanse, though, so the slow goes into effect.
Sword Blue just barely survived, and I thought that last spear might have just about killed him, and great mechanics from Rock Boom. Rock Boom sidestepping the hostile tape group. You can see how good he is. The problem is Rock Boom's just not been there at the last couple of team fights from St. Clair, and I'd love to see them play around the AD carry. I know he's strong enough to actually split push, but up against the Baroned up team, that's not really an option right now.
I mean, Topo's saying, yeah, you really can't deal with this one. Tower is down. Now do you pay with your life? In goes the pillar to try and slow them all down. But again, this speed up, the ability to get close and get everyone slowed. Yeah, that's just death in a bottle.
But he's so fed, he's drawing so many members away, and you can see Fisher just pushing up the mid lane. Okay, this time they don't get any more chip damage, but how many resources do you have to commit onto Topo? It's 4 members if you don't have Rock Boom, it's 3 if you have Rock Boom. But that's still an issue when you need that many people. And permanently, like we said, it's a defensive play from Fisher. They wait for you to make a mistake, and the entire time Topo is just split pushing and split pushing and split pushing. The saving grace for St. Clair, and I guess the one sort of marring effect on Fisher's play right now is that Topo doesn't have TP. If he had TP, Fisher would be in a much, much better position.
You get ease of access pretty much everywhere, but for the time, Fisher are allowed to simply walk up this mid lane. Another arrow goes out. Relic has been checking for these time and time again.
Okay.
Hey, it's actually going to work this time. Good flash out of Boschetti, but it's a flash burn for a crystal arrow, which should be coming up in just a few seconds.
Now the question is, what can Fisher do with that? Because if St. Clair Saints actually group up and look and go fishing with a hook of their own, I still think they can potentially make a play. They are up kills still, they are down gold, but I don't know if the players are necessarily aware of that. There's a lot of turret gold, which is making the difference. Gets caught.
That was a bit over aggressive.
Okay.
SCC take one step forward, and Matty tries with the Magnus Storm, but it's not going to work because in goes this Olaf, who is stuck inside the Cataclysm. Death to the J4, but a slow on Rock Boom means they're not getting away. Yes, you have flash, but you can't get away from the slows, and it's 3 dead because you decided to step over the ward line.
Once again, St. Clair. Or I was just saying that, you keep fighting that Rock Boom. They brought Rock Boom this time, but it still wasn't a team fight. Ricky wasn't in position. Bakery Boy didn't have TP available. So when St. Clair started that fight, it was a 3v4, which rapidly snowballed into a 3v5. And I'm worried for them because now Fisher, they're starting to catch up in kills. They've got all that additional gold from earlier, and they are playing this really, really well. Eventually, I would expect St. Clair to outscale, but I don't know how much longer it's going to take and how many times they're going to get caught in the process. Like this, Boschetti again gets hit with that arrow. He's a magnet for them.
Quite literally just taking Rel's ult away. That's frustrating. I would feel the pain there. Right now, Ricky LaFleur, though, says, hey, they are looking for this dragon. And it's a force by the side of St. Clair, right? Fisher need this dragon. They have to fight for it. It would be Soul if not. And you already burned that crystal arrow, meaning everyone gets to run free. Rock Boom does have Cleanse up as well as Flash. This is the opportune moment. If St. Clair want to pinch the likes of Fisher, this is a team fight that they may be hoping for. Hook lands onto Sword Blue and no chance to draw the ult. Cataclysm into the back line, maybe, but Devil to Grey says, oh crap, my team is dying. Look at the slaughter on the back end. Topo trying to do their best, and look at the Shred Relic untouched in this fight so far, and Devil to Grey forces away Rock Boom. That might be what they want. However, they have to run away. The double carry is coming out. It is going to burn everyone down. St. Clair saying we have a chance. In goes Cataclysm that I was hoping for before, but it's still a 3 for 3 from everyone in this game.
Devil to Grey might be up, Smite is available, but they have to be careful about the Callista. They've found
Oh no, Scout of the Week can't stop the death as Topo says I reign supreme. 14, 5, and 2.
Well, Orbital, we talked about the choice Devil to Grey had to make. Do you go in? Do you go out? But with Topo being as fed as he is, job done. He forced Rock Boom out the fight early. Rock Boom wasn't able to get all that damage down. And look at Devil to Grey. He's surviving this. Orbital, if he can go in, keep Rock Boom off of you, and still provide the CC on the way out for Topo to clean up these fights, that's why I was getting worried for St. Clair. And now, if Fisher, you can do that Dragon, you can look to do the same thing at Baron. St. Clair will come to you. And St. Clair, they're an aggressive team. They don't have a great way to play backwards.
And that's why they're hoping to find another pick, right? This is why we, maybe we're seeing the likes of Boschetti keep going forward, keep getting caught by the Crystal Arrow, but this time it's not, it's Maddie. Maddie getting chunked out, doesn't have Flash, doesn't have anything hostile taking him just to keep him there. And that's so damaging. A 43-second death timer when Baron is just 20 seconds away.
Hook lands, but what are you fishing for right here? Even with Maddie, you're getting vision down. That's all you're doing. You're two tanks with no damage to your name. Bakery Boy and Rock Boom were both dead at that point, so nobody's there to help you finish. And now that Maddie's dead, Smite's off the table. Baron spawn. Fisher, that's your call to go do Baron.
And they can do the same thing they've been doing all game. Topo sits in the bot lane, ready to pressure with this mallet in pocket. Hullbreaker says no worries, and no one can contest Fisher. Pick up by far the easiest Baron of their lives.
Okay, St. Clair right now, they've got to kill Topo right at the start of this push. He's got Baron buff with that Hullbreaker you're talking about. With Divine Thunder, he's just going to rip right through turrets. The wrap around right now, but not everybody's here. I'm still waiting for Rock Boom to get there.
Rock Boom's trying, but again, the Subjugate does so much work. You're able to seal away so many stats. Now comes Rock Boom. The knockups come through, and it looks like it's just that arrow from downtown, able to slow him, and then the chop. Are you kidding me? You still gain a kill, and because of that, now mid lane is under siege. Shockwave lands, and Bakery Boy has to run. The bakery's closed now as ice has formed around the oven. It is gone, and now they're chasing for the backside. Rock Boom ready for round number 2. Tower in mid is about to fall. Relic trying to chase for the inhibitor. If you can sacrifice your life for inhibitor, I think that is very much worth one more auto attack. Maybe able to take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It lands. Relic says, hey, so worth. They are about to lose 2. Are you kidding me? St. Clair, they've lost so many. Sword Blue gets it with the last auto attack. 2 inhibitor towers, 2 inhibitors, and a whole bunch of kills in favor of just 4 kills for St. Clair. You might be sitting there saying, hey, it was ours, but it does not. St. Clair looking at rubble in their base.
And overall, sure, St. Clair just shut down the Baron push early, but Fisher got what they came for. Your base is in shambles. You don't have a single inhibitor turret standing. You've got a single inhibitor standing in that top lane. And Fisher right now, the shot calling, the knowledge of when to go in has been spot on for this team. Whereas St. Clair, they had great mechanics early. We saw on the bot side, especially, how good they were. But the macro play has been failing them. They've been going in piecemeal, and they've been cut apart, devoured by Fisher, and paying the price right now. St. Clair, they still have fight in them. I would love to see them set up a proper fight. We saw that the last time they got a proper 5v5. It ended up being a 3-for-3. And we said it before, the skilling with the Olaf, with the Syndra, if they can trade a couple more times even as the game goes on, I do think St. Clair still have a very good chance of winning later team fights.
And that is honestly one of the scariest thoughts I've ever heard, right? That has to feel so bad, that all the work Fisher has put into getting Topo ahead, into getting everyone into a good spot, it can all be demolished in a single moment. And I think it's going to come down to what ults are up, right? We've seen the arrow used as kind of that fishing moment, same with the Cataclysm, but you got to hang on to all those ults if you want to keep everyone safe, just like this. That's going to be Baker Boy jumped on, arrow lands as well, and hey, the pick comp works. Topo drawing 3 once again, and St. Clair, it feels like they're forced into a lose-lose situation. Topo says, I got Rock Boom, push for all you're worth, even though Ren doesn't finish it out. Topo surviving for so dang long, and because of that, they've lost their base. St. Clair realized that they have made a grave error as Rock Boom is forced away from the base. Nexus tower falls, and Nexus is open. Hostile takeover just to keep them all away. Shockwave flashed away from Rock Boom, trying to kill everyone as fast as he can, but you can't. It is Fisher to say Topo is the ultimate bait. GG! Speculate all we want, but the players themselves want a piece of the action. We get into the game as, of course, the players are now frozen just because we got the failure coming out in the bot lane for Fisher, and they have spread the cold just about everywhere else. I mean, we're also in the middle of winter, by the way. Out where I'm at, we just got like 8 inches of snow, and I was like, okay, that's great. It's all gone, by the way. The weather around me is so bad that it's just like, no one really cares. So taking a look here, we are getting into the game. Fisher once again on the blue side and St. Clair on the red. This time a little bit more standard spread out. 5 point, hopefully from Fisher, but still a stack from St. Clair. This could be dangerous. Sword Blue and Ralik, I mean, you should spot it, but over the wall, in comes the Rel. Well spotted, knock up on Sword Blue, who is going to walk away. Only a little bit of damage, which you can recall and go ahead and heal up.
I like the idea there from St. Clair. Unfortunately, they are spotted on. This time Fisher will know where everybody is. Ball being dropped as well, just to give vision onto people exiting on that way. And for Fisher, okay, they're not hard committing to this top side. They're just going to drop some vision, track where Maddie is. And I'm actually very curious whether Fisher wants to match Maddie or whether they want to avoid Maddie, because early levels, I do think the J4 is stronger, and if you do force a 2v2 or 3v3 situation with Maddie, we saw that last game, and it was Fisher who won that 2v2 in the top lane, got the kill, and pushed Maddie out, and I wonder if they want to replicate that.
I think they can. I think they could if they really, really wanted to, and I mean, it's such an interesting fact, right? The fact that we keep seeing Maddie kind of be that pinpoint area on this Viego this time around will be very fun to watch. Because if that early invade happens, right? If you're set behind, if you have a bad time, it's actually more impactful, right? You actually lose, I feel, a lot more ground than, say, the Rel. You know, if you fall behind, you don't have any damage. So if they get it to work, hey, bye-bye goes Maddie, and all of a sudden you have free lanes everywhere else, or at least you hope so.
Yeah, and it'd be a nice payback for what Maddie did to them last game, right? Where Maddie was potentially on track to pull off a 3 buff if he didn't have to go and cover that top lane. We are now seeing opposite starts for both junglers, and with the warding positioning, both teams will be able to track where these junglers are. I love where Topo is positioned right now, though. Oh, yep. Bot lane? Okay, no, they're fine. Okay, Topo is sitting in a bush right now, trying to cut off Ricky from lane.
And actually, it looks like they did get the damage for, or not even real damage. It was like, what, 5%? Yeah. So slows a little bit, but still, the aggression, the idea is there. Eyes are now open in the rest of the lanes. As you said, bot lane, not as aggressive. Mid lane, still, this matchup, though, favoring the likes of Baker Boy early on in his radar takes a massive chunk of damage.
Yeah, it's a very volatile matchup early on, and the fact that Bakery Boy's winning that means that he managed to sidestep a lot of those command moves initially and landed spheres of his own instead. Now I'm tracking the junglers a little bit because for Maddie, he might look to gank the mid lane with how volatile it's already been. And for St. Clair, they have to be aware. They know Devil de Grey is bot side.
It's done. It's a testing moment, and that's why they're trying to draw that 2v2, but the Ignite goes down, and look at the shred. You're giving so much time for Ralik to actually step up. In the mid lane, we saw a kill instead, and all of a sudden it's a trade. That's still a kill to Rockman with Ralik now running away. You do have flash, and you do flash away, but damage is done. We talked about this top lane matchup being a little bit different, and because of that, unleashing Maddie to join that mid lane.
And Orbital, St. Clair won out on both mid and and bot. We were just talking about the fact that, hey, Fisher have to watch out for Maddie. Maddie's in position to the gank. They might not know that. Their ward, unfortunately, didn't track which direction Maddie went. And bot side, we were talking about the fact that Boschetti and Rockboom have to be careful for the gank. Well, they got the vision down, and they knew that, hey, we can go in on this. So early game dominance from St. Clair, very much like what we saw at the start of last game.
And this continues. It's a very different story, right? The early game that we saw was a little bit more close and coordinated. We saw leads being given to each side. It felt more like just a slugfest instead of that, you know, offense defense. Well,
oh jeez.
So I say that.
There we go.
It's still a trade. It's still a trade. And Ricky LaFleur is like, haha, I got it again.
Well, so Ricky LaFleur gets a much better ward this time and sees this coming. But it kind of doesn't matter because Fisher doesn't care if it's a 1-for-1 or not. Ricky missed out an entire wave and a bit. I think he lost about 6 or 7 minions to the turret while he was dead or during the gank itself as well. So you're down gold, you're down experience. And for Topo, you just need a bit of a lead. If Topo gets an inch, he will take the whole foot.
I mean, you could already see it there, right? Still has Ignite, still has Flash Up, so if you did get the regular damage, you can go ahead and pull this off. If that Harpoon had landed, I wonder if Topo in the overheat. I mean, I don't think would have dove, but I mean, now Ricky LaFleur is in a really, really bad spot. You can see it there, trying to get the damage, trying to get the heal. Topo wants it, no Q up. Still though, wards going down. I mean, this is just rinse and repeat, and Ricky LaFleur knows it.
Yeah, and this time wisely backs off. But you saw Devil Degree was like, okay, he's low. I come back in, we do it. I have flash, you have flash, we get a kill. Failing that, we wait for the level 6 equalizer. But the problem is they're taking a long time, and St. Clair has responded top side, bot side. Sword Blue?
I mean, Sword Blue, I feel, is okay for right now. It's Rollick that I'm actually worried about. How much HP are you going to lose? Boschetti, you might want to help your ADC here. They're actually losing out on the wrong side of the field, and they have to dive back in. They're trying to trade it out. A little bit of a hawk shot to give vision, and because that Rollick gets the shield goes up in time. Double kill off of an overextension from Rockboom and Boschetti.
And let's make that very, very clear. Rockboom and Boschetti did not have to go into that. They opted into that, and Rollick and Sword Blue played that immaculately, beautifully well. And hey, getting all those kills onto Rollick as well, bro, that's going to be an issue. This Ashe, it's not the same Ashe from last game. It's 3-0 right now. Ricky, uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, I felt a dagger through my heart right there. Right, that felt painful, and Sword Blue now getting jumped on. I mean, I feel like this is just rewards. This will be death for Rollick as well as Sword Blue. Ignite goes down. It will be the finisher. So just as we were praising Fisher, kills go right back to Rockboom.
I feel like both top and bot overstayed their welcome, Orbital. Ricky was low, walks into a blind bush when you knew a fight had just broken up. Bot side, it's kind of similar thing. Rollick and Sword Blue a little bit overextended. So that kind of just answers equal. What's interesting is the fact that Maddie just went for the dragon with the help of Bakery Boy. St. Clair having a much better grasp this time of the macro. They're not kind of just getting sucked into the pace of kills left and right.
And I like that, right? I really, really do like that. I want to see St. Clair be able to pull out some of their awesome kind of stylistic situations. And even if that style is slow and steady, you go ahead, build your leads here and there. Maybe they're challenging a little bit more, but for right now, it feels more stable. Now, granted, this is about the time in game number 1 where we lost vision and we were like, what happened in 6 minutes? And all of a sudden we had 20 kills on the board. So maybe we get to see how Fisher decides to play this in-between state and if Topo's allowed to get an extended lead once again.
Okay, so this is how it's going to play, Orbital. It's going to be top side that just melts the game again. Topo is more than double Ricky's CS. And look at Ricky right now. Ricky can't even step up because Topo's level 6, equalizers up, Ignite is about to come up, and if you're Ricky, you're calling for jungles to help break this freeze. If you're Topo, you're calling Devil to go for the double kill.
I love it. They met each other. They saw each other. Like, all right. This is how it's gonna be, guys. This is our life for the next 5 minutes. Please stop. However, a Q came out from Sword Blue, and that almost felt like the initiation call. Both Rockboom and Boschetti were like, yeah, let's hard sprint it, and Rollick even burned that ghost. Summoner spell for a bit of a chance. I mean, I'm on my toes right now. This bot lane could explode and cause so much damage either way.
Yeah, because Rollick got all those early kills, Rollick is 6 and actually has the ult to facilitate the pick. So well played from Rockboom and Boschetti to not die and play very defensively. They were waiting for this push into turret. Now that they are 6, they're the ones who are, they're okay to try and fight this 2v2, maybe.
Maybe not now. Sword Blue really hoping for that Glacial Fissure, be able to slow down their targets as much as possible. On the top side, though, this is Ricky LaFleur starting to build up a CS wave, and I'm not sure that's really enjoyable. However, it is giving space for the rest of the team to go for that Herald first. Gives a global objective once again to St. Clair Saints.
I don't think Fisher actually have vision on the move, but I think they just assumed seeing Bakery Boy move out of lane, and now that Herald's been taken, they will be aware. So once again, St. Clair, great that they've got eyes on the objectives. They're making sure they're getting the macro plays. The laning, however, has not favored them quite as much this game, Orbital. So it's a very different flavor from that first game. And Devil de Grey especially has been a little bit more stifled this game. Hasn't been able to cause quite as much chaos. You can see they still want to go for the top lane. But like we predicted, St. Clair, they took the break, they sorted their problems, and Maddie's making sure he covers this time.
All right, now on the bot side, no coverage from the junglers. Instead, it's chip over chip over chip over chip, and the call down here. But we're going to look at that top side, the one that we really watch for, as that is the melting pot that we said. The hot pot brings blood and food. Now on the bot side, we're seeing the trade out. Both ADCs take a kill apiece. And on top side, we're still seeing that death. The flash in from Devil de Grey gets that kill. It's deja vu, RMC. We wondered what happened in game number 1. This is what happened.
Yeah, like we said, it's about the top lane. That's where everything melts down. They win the 2v2. Both top laners are calling for their junglers to support them. But unfortunately, Maddie's the one who gets caught first. And the moment Ricky's on his own, that turret is not a safe place for you, Rockboom. Trying to go for revenge, but without that flash, I don't think he can quite catch up to Rollick.
Oh, that feels bad. You even burned the cleanse, and now if you get caught, you're kind of screwed. So I like this call down from Maddie. Maddie watching as the rest of the team jumps in. Flash over the wall between the two, and Radar is allowed to live. Great attempt to get a roam down on the spot side, though, trying to punish some of these movements.
I was just laughing at Orbital. You're talking about, oh, if you get caught, you're screwed for Rockboom, and I was just watching Radar almost get caught as well.
Right?
If anybody gets caught with
Whoa.
these comps, yeah, they're kind of screwed. There's so much damage for everybody here. Maddie kind of just sniffing around this bot lane, but Rollick and Sword Blue are doing a great job playing defensively. And one of the reasons why I'm so much more focused on the top lane is because of what happened last game, Orbital. The fact that if Ashe falls behind, she's still got so much utility. If an Aatrox falls behind, he's just dead when a lot of these fights start. So St. Clair, the macro was good from them, but they do have to be a little bit careful about having a repeat of game 1. You know, Rockboom is not as far ahead this time. Their mid game is a little bit concerning for me at this point. I'd like to see Maddie be able to get some ganks off, preferably maybe in the mid lane, if not the bot lane, because Bakery Boy and Maddie both have a lot of burst damage, and it's a good setup for this Viego to get his executes rolling.
I mean, not just that. You take a look at this arrow coming down the lane, and maybe you get that counter attack, but that's going to be the burn, and they're hoping to just burn through Bakery Boy, who flashed away, but a flash to follow from that rumble, and now they get a fight ever further. Oh no, that's Boschetti. You Magnet Storm your way to death. And honestly, that's going to give Drake as well. Take a look at the vision. I didn't even get to point it out. All the vision from SCC now wasted for Fisher to grab this Drake.
Yeah, they wanted to make the move, but overall, it felt like Fisher had also read what Sinclair had wanted to do and just was a step faster. Hey, you want to gank mid? We'll send our top laner as well. We'll get that numbers advantage. And they just shut down the play from St. Clair before it can even start. Best part of that, Topo doesn't miss a beat rotating into that bot lane, into the mid lane, pardon me, because he was so far ahead. You can see he just goes right back up, waves clears that. Sword Blue, Rollick, they can come right back down and look for this pick.
The flash is up, good flash wave, but the Cataclysm still comes down. It happens once again, and even poor Boschetti is like, bruh. Look at that, look at that. Bruh, really? That just happened? Gosh dang it.
You just got back to lane, like, say live in here. No, Maddie's
gonna try and even it. It is. Oh, Maddie, you are getting shredded. One more out. I can take it, but the teleport in from Ricky LaFleur might be able to trade it around. Take a look on the far side. We can see the roam in from Baker Boy as well. But everyone on the other side is running. But Ralik says, I'm actually strong. Guys, what are you doing? You're running into an Ashe. Now it's round number 3. Sword Blue about to go low. If one more Q lands, you are dead. But you dodge out of sight. Bakery Boy trying to do some work.
No shot.
What well done job by Fisher to bait the fisherman.
Yeah, St. Clair, unfortunately, they're all just roaming to the bot lane trying to dogpile in there. They don't find the kills, and Relic catches Boschetti. spacing, not paying attention. Great kill. Didn't even need a flash. Now top lane, Topo versus Rockboom.
There's nothing. There's no flash. There's nothing. Even mid lane. There's just so many souls. What's going on, Maddie? Maddie, please. I'm begging you. Please do not die here. You just ate a chunk. Radar doesn't have his ult, and he doesn't have a way out. So at least you get one. But what is going on, RMC?
Orbital, the Saints are marching home. Straight into a funeral home, unfortunately. That was almost across the board. Just every single lane. Thankfully, Maddie finds one kill. It's not ideal, but it's what you got. It's what you take. And now look at the lane states across the board. Top side, Topo, one plate left on that top lane turret, and Rockboom lost that 1v1. Mid lane, Radar starting to build a bit of a lead over Bakery Boy. Bakery Boy wasted so much time moving between the lanes. And bot lane, the lane where Rockboom and Boschetti dominated last time, Raulik is up CS, up kills, up gold, up pressure as well. And Fisher, I guess this is what we missed game 1, Orbital. We're seeing it happen in game 2.
Topo's like, where's my fun? I want to get on this action. I'm only 3-0-4. Give me some of the kills more. And we're like, you got your kills before. Like, my guy, you were 14 through and like 7 at the end of the other game. Yeah. So this time, spread the love a little bit. Same for Devil to Gray. Remember, in game number 1, didn't have the most amazing scoreline, but we knew that they had the impact, right? This time around, it's 4-1-4. And looking for a 5th. You have no way out. Maybe you have the rest of the team. You're trying to hide in the ward, but this is still going to be the kill. You call down another teleport. That's Fisher say, all right, you want to rumble? Let's freaking rumble. Let's bring it on in. A knock-up once again as in goes the Rel, but it's not going to matter. There's no damage to follow up. Bakery Boy doesn't have the mythic, and you're trying to run away, but guess who's got the flash? Guess who's got the damage? Devil to Gray sends them to hell.
And on the side, Ricky was desperately trying to rotate into the top lane, ran face first into Raulik and Sword Blue, and Fisher dominated that fight. They are fueling themselves. The confidence is showing. Equalizer just came up for Topo. Maddie, no!
The turn and burn is what we call that one. That was the river just unexpectedly swatting Maddie into death. And Devil to Gray gets a free arrow. Like, what is going on here?
Oh, it feels like Fisher has just found their confidence. They know they're good. They got it from game 1. They're shown in game 2. Their micro has improved. Their mechanics have looked spot on. And for Sinclair, it's starting to feel like they're desperate. They are making questionable decisions on when to fight. The mechanics are starting to suffer a little bit as well. We saw that in that top lane. The fact that Devil to Gray danced around all the skill shots that Bakery Boy was putting down. There was no, that should not have been a favorable fight for Fisher, but they came out completely unscathed, didn't drop a soul up in that top side.
And now really it's that call down of, as long as Fisher don't make, I don't want to call an ego move, but just an overextension, right? They should be in prime position. They have the composition. They have the power. This dragon coming up doesn't have any vision from SEC. So if you're looking at Fisher, you can just waltz in and take a second. As long as you don't get caught. Raulik about to have that happen to them as they just get jumped. Man, I love caster cursing my games. Don't worry, guys. I'm an ace at that. I may be like gold in casting, but I am an absolute pro at calling down curses. This is looking like another stun out as Sword Blue tries to take out a ward. But of course, look at that dissonance. Rockboom now on the wrong side of the wall, only has cleanse, and cleanse ain't gonna get you out. Flag and drag to death as Devil to Gray says, give me that option. Look at the burn. Everyone melting away. Scatter the Weak only slows down the damage as this is Topo's game to play. Another little burn comes out as the overheat slows them all down, but Bakery Boy is untouched because Boschetti is running for their life. The horse is chunked and dismantled as Bakery Boy is the only one alive.
You know what? You curse them once, you bless them again, Orbital, because you called for Topo to get more kills, and he did. 7-0-6, Bakery Boy about to die!
It physically hurts. It hurts, but for Fisher, they are loving it. 24 and 10, 35,000 gold, and towers to boot as well.
That was a 3v5 Orbital to start. Ricky TPing into the back and still can't follow up, still can't find in. Radar might turn this.
There's nothing. Yeah, you're dead. You're slowed. You're gone. It's time and time again. These attempts, this frustration, these attempts at desperation are leading them to ruin and destruction.
And with this composition, with the slows from Braum, from Orianna, from Ashe, it feels like St. Clair gets one shot to get the engage right. And it hasn't panned out. Maddie now hunting to the back.
Oh my gosh.
Rockboom's dead.
Wait. I love the fact that I'm not even worried about the kills. That's expected at this point. I just love the fact that we saw Muschetti be like, I didn't want to be here. My ADC forced me to be here. Can I go home? And just pieced out to the top side.
Yeah, Muschetti made the right call.
True.
I feel bad for Matt, because Matty was just like, okay, you know what? We've got the burst. We're going to try and find somebody here. And he went in, and Muschetti was like, nah, peace. guys, Rockboom's dead. I have no support. I'm so dead. 27-10 now, Orbital, with an almost 10k gold lead. It's 9, but should be 10 soon once these turrets go down. And Baron hasn't even spawned. Fisher, at this point, I'm not even sure they can really overextend. It's just baiting at that point.
At this point, we're playing for the perfect game for Topo, right? 7-0-8. Just like, I don't want to die here, and I just want to see how many kills I can get. You already got the void staff, right? Any sort of match resist to come out from the side of SEC ain't gonna matter. Like, I'm so sorry, but it's not. Like, you're dead. On the other side, it's literally hunting, right? Take a look at the vision. There is a single ward from SEC in their own jungle side, and this can happen because of it. This is a jump in radar now finally going to pay for their transgressions, but they saw that Devil de Grey is so far in the enemy base that they don't even care. This tower is going to fall behind, and it's a small price to pay to get this tower.
And let's not forget, the last team fight, Orbital, started as a 3v5, which became a 4v5 because Raleigh got picked first. So even if you kill Radar, so what? That was when they were up, what, 7k? Now they're up 10k. You can't really fight into them. And even in that chokehold, when I saw them kind of trying to funnel around the side, try and rotate around, all I could think in my head was, that little funnel there, that little corridor is the perfect length for an equalizer. So even if they get the pick, if it's not a pick on Topo, well, even if it is the pick on Topo, I'm still a little bit worried for St. Clair. It still has to be a perfect engage from them.
The kill also needs to go to priority members. Like, at this point, I'm sorry, Ricky, I don't think a kill is going to be enough to get you back, right? Oh, no. I see the pings go down, and...
they knew?
Oh... I watched that, and it was so far away. Topo and Sword Blue were nowhere close. I was like, there's no way they chased that. Topo proto-belted just to try and get that equalizer down. I would like to point out, they are in full hunt mode.
Was there a ward in that? Like, how did they know that?
It was a random shot. It was just a random shot. I was watching it. There were no wards.
That's crazy. And now Baron's up. Normally, you see that equalizer go down, Orbital, and you're like, okay, there's a window. We can try and fight this. No, look at the cooldown. It's almost halfway up. And Fisher, if anything, I want to see them baiting at this Baron right now. Try and catch anybody who walks in there. Oh, Topo might have gone caught.
Oh, and actually get bounced over the wall, and that's the kill. Hey, that's an option. Hey, that's a jump back. It is a step, a small one nonetheless, but... I mean, Testing has to run away. Another jump forward. Rallic in full aggressive mode said, I am the Ashe that will carry us all. Dancing, weaving, trying to orb walk. But look at the damage. Looks like SCCF also found their opportunity. Stepping out and away. A great arrow, though, slows everyone down. Over the wall goes the Heartbreaker. Maddie, realizing they're caught into a rough situation, but the Scout of the Week slows the fight just enough. However, caught on the Wolf. Down goes Muschetti. Bakery Boy running for their life as well. 0-4-4. Doesn't want to make it 0-5.
Things looked so good for St. Clair for a moment there, starting with the pick onto Topo. That's why I said Orbital. Even if they get the pick onto Topo, the subsequent engage, the subsequent 5v4 still has to be flawless. And Rowlick, unfortunately, for St. Clair, was the one who played that flawless. That sidestep onto just the very edge of the command dissonance to not get slowed, not get caught, made all the difference. Because when Rowlick wasn't touched, once you had used all your engage tools, Rowlick just turned right back around and chased you instead.
I love the fact that I'm keeping track of Rowlick's buys, and every time it's either a major component or just an item flat out. There is like, every time we're just watching this climb up, I'm like, I wish I had this Ashe in all my solo key games. Like, what the heck? I want this. It's crazy, right? And we set it up at the beginning. SCC, I mean, Rapu and Muschetti, they tried their best to control this bot lane, and it's just not working out, and I think that gives so much to Fisher, this developing organization that is looking to cement themselves as a strong point. Baron taking quite low. Is this going to be a steal? It's going to be smited away by Topo, apparently. Now arrow goes out, doesn't land on anyone, and SCC, for this Baron, at least don't lose anyone, but they're going to call this fight. They're going to try and fight it out, but look at that hurt! That's going to be Rock Boom to be almost annihilated by a single QW, and now the fight engages. Cataclysm draws them all in. There is no burn, but it is enough. The flamethrower spits on everyone, and yes, they lose too, but Fisher still claim a majority share of the wave in mid. Testing, taking quite low. RockBoom having to run away as fast as possible. A flash forward. Another Q doesn't land. And Maddie says, hey, I'm going to turn it around.
Okay.
Grabs another stole. And hey, this is a dub right now for SCC. They've gotten kills that they sorely need.
Maddie's still hunting right now, but I don't think you kill these two. SwordBlue is inordinately tanky. He started everything, lost half his health, and is still in the fight. But SCC, they're able to find something overall. This is a win for them, make no mistake. They lost Baron, but they stripped Baron off majority of the members of Fisher. They got the kills, and they are the ones set up for this Drake right now.
I mean, this is a... I did say a mistake cannot happen for Fisher, right? There has to be something that just, you can't make a mistake. And at this point, with RockBoom ready to go with those spears, I think you got it, right? Very nicely here on that end. That is the ability that you are afforded with the Kalista in your back pocket. However, that is not the end goal. This is just a minor stepping stone for SCC. They need that to happen at least 2 to 3 more times.
Yeah, it's a first step, but it's a journey of 1,000 steps right now for them. While this happening, Radar doing his best Topo impression, TP's into the top lane, just split pushing right now because they still have Baron buff on 2 members. Both Rollick and SwordBlue still have that ability to pressure. And for St. Clair Saints right now, they're going.
I mean, that's oh no. Oh, that's just that feels bad. That's Mechanical Horse just burned to death. That is going to hurt. Now in a 1-4 position, Fisher are looking to break open this mid inhibitor, but not gonna be able to get too much. Great hold by SCC for the time being.
Very short-lived one. RockBoom, why are we... okay, I don't know what happened to RockBoom there. He put himself in a very awkward position. And for Fisher, like you said, they're just focused on the turrets right now. They weren't even hunting for kills. They were just served up on a silver platter.
And when you get a reward like that for doing almost nothing, you're going to take more from it. Very nicely done to capitalize on that mistake. We were saying, hey, SCC able to hold out? Not anymore. They lose 2 inhibitors for the next objectives, which again are about 3.5 minutes out, so quite a long time. It's still there for Fisher. They felt things getting a little bit out of control, I think, and now they should feel firmly back in position. Good flag and drag out, how a follow over the wall, and no one's there. So if Maddie decides to chase us a little bit further with Flash, okay, good out by the side of Devil to Grey. Still though, scary stuff. Maddie starting to become a problem. 10-5-1.
So we know, Orbital, that Maddie could have kept chasing. We know that Maddie could have killed Devil to Grey. St. Clair didn't know that. They didn't have vision. The reset had just come through from Fisher. And Maddie, perfect instincts to disengage when he did. Enchanted Crystal Arrow actually came across the map as well to secure Devil to Grey. SwordBlue now stepping up deep is spotted, but let's see how little damage gets done.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, SwordBlue is gonna be fine. I think they're more than happy with the spears. They're just, this never hurt me. I don't know what you're talking about. I am that wall. This is just a hard push on the spot side. And right now, Rollick, by the way, 4 items deep. An item and a half over RockBoom. This is disgusting.
I just want to see what happens when Rollick gets time to actually fire on these tanks, because they've been melting, but I've been tracking how quickly they are going to... I see tanks. I don't even think SCC actually have a tank right now. Like, Ricky is not really tanky. He's got a Hex Drinker. And who's the other tank? I guess it's Boschetti, but Boschetti is a support. You don't have enough gold income. While all this happened, by the way, let's not forget, supers are pushing top and mid. So Fisher's taking this slow because they have other lanes pushing for them.
They don't need to force anything. If anything, I'm expecting them to just wait, right? They are just waiting for an opportunity for SCC to actually leave or make a mistake. And at this point, it seems the call is, let's just stay here. There's literally nothing else on the map, right? This is one of those rare moments in League where the objective is so clearly defined that nothing else is going to happen on the game, right? Like, they literally just sat outside of that wall and we're like, all right, next time is up. Double to Gray now going to set right in center. Cataclysm comes in, but that's going to be the max sword right into the back line. Okay. Are you kidding me? What a wombo combo. Let's see if they have the damage. Yes, they do. Maddie gets one reset, looking for another. Great unleashed power. Are you kidding me? SCC say you have made a fatal mistake. 4 dead and then some. Double to Gray running for their life as they are almost forced into heaven's gates. St. Clair Saints found a single monumental chance. Yes, they lose the Nexus Tower, but it is a chance. Devil to Grey, you're gonna fall, I think. I look at the dodges, look at the moves. Faker, you're not him.
Almost though, almost though. He bought a lot of time. So St. Clair won't be able to get any meaningful push off. And unfortunately for St. Clair, they've been turtling their base so long that they can't really step up and take anything. They're really just pushing these waves out. Rockboom, you can see, is even hesitant to really go for this bot lane turret because of the death timers and because of the time that Devil to get a bot. But Orbital, important thing, that fight. St. Clair won it, and how they won it as well. They pushed forward. If they had hesitated, if they had stepped back, they would have died. Topo dropped the equalizer behind them to say, okay, we're cutting off your retreat. The problem was St. Clair had no plans of retreating. They know if they don't win that fight, they're dead. So they just all in, and they got the engage they needed. They caught Ralik and Radar next to each other, and Topo, unfortunately, a little bit too far out. Once the Orianna was dead, once Ashe was dead, and once Equalizer was down, St. Clair were able to follow up. Arrow goes through the uprights, but it's got a short cooldown. It will be back up shortly.
I also do not expect Fisher to be in that situation again, right? That was a single moment's notice. It was, okay, they made a mistake, and at this point, it's just looking for those chances, right? In goes that Rel, but this time you don't get that 4-man Magnus Storm, and Rockboom is so low. What did I just say? You made a mistake. Maddie in the backline trying to do work, but instead you're the one that shredded that CC, that stunned. As soon as we saw that ace from St. Clair, Fisher paid back, and then some. They take a little bit of interest on the top, as this is an ace for one for Fisher.
A little bit of interest. I'd call Nexus the whole darn bank account over. They're just taking everything away from St. Clair. And what a series as well. Fisher, they came in swinging. We knew they were good, but it felt like they had really prepared. They had taken that loss to heart. And this time, they recognized that, hey, we know Topo is good. We lost out mid last time. That's fine. We won't cover our weaknesses. We're going to play to our strengths instead. And you can't argue with that clean 2-0.
It honestly, we said it, right? Playoffs is a different beast. No matter how you cut it, the playoffs is where things matter, and especially in the lower